Welcome back to week 3 of our No Spin January. This is usually the point where the excitement of starting something new has worn off, and what's left is the real work. The routines are set, the rules are familiar, and now it's less about willpower and more about awareness. Up to this point, I've stayed consistent with not spending on wants, but what's been noticeable this week isn't the money, it's the emotions that show up when there's nothing left to distract me. The journaling prompts have continued to be a huge part of this process for me. They've helped me slow down and notice patterns I didn't see before, especially around stress, loneliness, and that urge to fix a feeling by buying something. In this video, I'm going to share what came up for me during week 3, the questions I worked through, and what I'm learning as the deeper layers start to surface. Here are the 3 questions I asked myself for week 3. Number 1, what have I avoided by staying busy or buying stuff? 2, what am I learning about myself this month? 3, what do I want my days to look like? So for the first question, I will say 2 months after Mr. C passed away, I stayed busy like nonstop for an entire month. And I was redoing my eBay room. I was going to thrift stores. I was trying to occupy every single minute so I didn't have to stop and think. And then it came crashing down. And all of a sudden I was paralyzed because reality set in. And I had to face the fact that Mr. C was gone. The busyness was a volume knob that helped drown out the silence. And when reality came crashing down and the silence became stronger, the truth got louder. And all I heard was, this is my life now. And in the 3rd month after he passed is when the grief spending started. I realized that the busyness did nothing to turn down the silence, and my brain knew that buying could fill that silence, but a lot faster. The second thing I was avoiding was that everything had become mine. After Mr. C passed, my life didn't just lose a person, it lost a shared load-bearing wall. He helped me with everything. And suddenly, decisions are mine, finances are mine, house, health, future, safety, all mine. There's no will figure it out. There's only I have to figure it out. That weight didn't show up all at once. It leaked in slowly. Staying busy kept me from feeling. Buying things gave my brain a short-lived illusion of control. And I felt like I was improving my life. I'm fixing something. I'm moving forward. Even if the item didn't matter, the feeling of agency did. The third thing I was avoiding was the identity gap. I didn't just lose a husband. I lost the version of me who existed with him. I lost my role as a wife that didn't need an explanation. It just was. That's who I was. Buying stuff wasn't about the stuff. It was subconsciously asking, who am I now? I was trying to rebuild an identity before I was ready to grieve the old one. And I was also avoiding stillness because my body didn't feel safe. I was in survival mode for over 10 months. My nervous system was telling me that sitting still felt dangerous. So my body learned that busy equals safe, doing equals protected, planning equals control. Buying gave me the dopamine and a direction for my life. Slowing down meant panic attacks, tight chest, racing thoughts, and also if I stop, I'll fall apart. So I didn't stop until burnout forced me. I was in survival mode and it was awful. And I was avoiding grief that honestly has no solution. I'm a fixer. I'm a planner, a doer, a builder. Grief is none of those things. There's no checklist, no timeline, no if I just ... So my brain defaulted to problems it could solve. Organizing my home, doing projects, purchasing, a lot of purchasing, creating content as I'm doing here on YouTube, and productivity. These were things I did when Mr. C was here that I had control over. Sitting with grief meant admitting this is unfixable. And that's a brutal truth for a capable woman. So what am I learning about myself? Well, by me now being able to journal and ask the really hard questions means my nervous system is starting to trust me again. I am no longer avoiding, I'm noticing. Avoidance doesn't ask questions. Avoidance stays loud. Avoidance keeps spending. Now I am pausing, questioning, and feeling the weight instead of outrunning it. So what do I want my days to look like now? I want my days to look like contained stillness. not endless empty time. Gentle structure. I want routines without putting a lot of pressure on myself, and emotional off-ramps, which include journaling, walking, prayer, doing things that let feelings move through and not get stuck. Permission to be slower than my old self, because I was always this very productive person. And I remember the days I wasn't very productive, and I would tell Mr. C, and this is what he would tell me every single time. He said, "Babe, you can't be a rock star every day." And he was right. My days don't have to be where I stay busy, stay motivated, stay ahead, but I want them to feel anchored, feel competent without any pressure, and to end the day without emotional collapse. My mornings, I want grounded, not rushed. I always love a slow morning. Slow mornings tell my body I am safe and I'm not behind. For 10 months, I've moved like my house was on fire, which signaled to my nervous system that I was in danger. And after a very grounded morning, I want late morning to afternoon to have meaningful focus. This is where burnout will creep in, trying to do 10 things instead of 2 meaningful tasks. Momentum is good, overdrive is not. And in the afternoon, now this is the danger zone for grief and spending and overdoing. My afternoon should feel smaller, predictable, with very low stakes. So for me, that would be sitting and editing videos and not recording, doing administrative work, very boring task, taking a walk, and preparing for the next day. My evenings, they're not for growth. They're not for me to sit there and try to plan the rest of my life. They're for landing the plane. My body needs to know the day is over. I can rest now. This means creating a new nighttime routine, which I will be sharing. I believe it's next month or the month after, but I am going to share a new routine that I am trying to come up with. Also, watching familiar shows. I have mentioned before, I love watching hoarders. There's something about watching things that are very familiar that just make you feel good. Familiarity is just, it's very comforting. Or reading familiar books, not trying to read stuff where it's a self-help book and that gets my mind going at the end of the day. I don't need that. I need calm, or even listening to audiobooks. I love listening to things like Anne of Green Gables. I love things like that because it settles me down and it just brings a lot of comfort. And prayer. I always like to end the day with prayer. I didn't for the longest time after Mr. C passed in the evenings, but I am getting where at the end of the day, I can now start to say, "Lord, thank you for this wonderful day." And I'll admit that was the hardest thing to start saying again at the end of the day. But I'm really trying. I'm really trying to look at each day and be very grateful for what I have, my excellent health, my sound mind, my family, my friends, my support system here on YouTube. And at the end of the day, I am getting to where I'm thanking God for a wonderful day. Yes, Mr. C is not here, but it was still a wonderful day. So no self-reflection at night, no big decisions, no emotional excavation after dark, no watching YouTube videos with how to change your life in 24 hours. You know how we start watching these things and we're like, oh my goodness, it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm going to change my life. No doing that. This is my time to be still. I also want to ask myself this one question before I commit to anything. Will this leave me steadier or emptier? If it costs tomorrow's peace, it's way too expensive. As we wrap up week 3 of No Spend January, I'm realizing that this isn't just about spending less. It's about slowing down enough to notice myself. This week really showed me how often spending used to be my default response to feeling uncomfortable, tired, or emotionally heavy. Not because I needed anything, but because I wanted relief. The journaling has helped me pause long enough to ask better questions instead of reaching for a quick fix. And while it hasn't been easy, it's been incredibly eye-opening. If you're doing this alongside me and this week felt harder than the others, I just want you to know that's normal. This is usually the point where the newness wears off and the real work begins. So be gentle with yourself. Awareness is progress, even when it feels uncomfortable. If you're joining me in this journey, let me know how week 3 went for you in the comments, what came up for you, or what surprised you. I am so excited for next week. Next week will be our final check-in for No Spend January.